Hello guys, what's poppin' y'all? Today we are solving missing in array question. So we are given an array of size n-1 that contains distinct integers in the range from 1 to n is inclusive. This represents a permutation of the integers from 1 to n with one element missing. So we have to return the missing element. From the example given here, we can clearly see 4 is missing from the order. So 1 to 5 and 4 is missing. So now let's start coding. We initialize a variable n to denote the total number of elements that will be in the array or in the sequence without the element missing. So we are doing n plus 1, and then we are initializing a variable j that will return the sum of all the numbers till n. So we are using the formula n into n plus 1 by 2. Here this will return a float variable. So see, float answer. To avoid that, we can either encase it with an int keyword, but it is not solving the fundamental problem by itself. So instead of that, we can do integer division, which is denoted by 2 backslashes, and then to find the missing element, we return the difference between j, that is the total sum, minus the sum of all arrays in the element, which will give us the missing value. So as you can see, all the test cases haven't passed. So now I will try and explain another optimized method in which you can code the answer for the same question. So now let's get to coding. In this method we use XOR. So the n variable will remain the same. We initialize a for loop for I in the range of 0 to n minus 1. This solution will become intuitive once we understand the dry run, which I will explain in a bit. And then we initialize a variable val, and then we XOR it with the current value of the index in the array. That is, in the example, if index 0 is 1, we XOR it with 0. And similarly, we XOR the variable val from the previous iteration to the new array, that is the original array. Like for example, if the example is 1 2 3 and 5, this will XOR 1 2 3 4 and 5, so that we can get the proper answer. Now let me try and explain the intuition behind this code by dry running it. Oops, some error is there. Oh, I didn't initialize a value for the variable val. Let us initialize it before the for loop. Val is equal to 0. So now let's go and check out the dry run of this particular code. So here in the first line of code, we are initializing n value and then the value of the variable val, and then we are starting the for loop. So here why we are writing n minus 1 is, in the first line n value will become n plus 1. That is, if the example is 1 2 and 4, originally n value will be 3, but since we are adding plus 1, new n value will be 4. So when we are initializing the for loop, we need to iterate through the given example array. So we need to make it n minus 1, that is from 0 to 3. But when we are using range, it will omit the final, that is the n, so it will include 0 1 and 2. Now while XORing val, we first XOR the first element of the given example, and then we go to the our own sequence. So for example, 1 2 3 till n without including 0. So now if from the example we are taking val, so 1 XORed with 0 will always be 1, and then new value of val will be 1, and then we are XORing it with 1. So in the example we have taken 1 2 3, so 1 XORed 1 will be 0. So the value of val will be again updated to 0, and then the iteration will continue. So the next iteration will be val XORing with the next index, which is 2. 0 XORed with any value will be that value, which is 2. Now new value of val will be 2, which when XORed with 1 gives us 0. I'm sorry, it is 2. So again in the next loop, similar process follows, but an exception case comes here. So 0 XORed with 4 is 4, which is in the given array example, and then 4 XORed with 3 because that is the missing number. But when we are taking 1, 2, 3 in the sequence, 3 comes in this particular step. So the XORed value will be 7 and the val is updated. And in the end, we are XORing val with n because that will not be included in the iteration. So when we XOR val with n, where n is 4, and when we XOR 7 with 4, the answer is 3, which gives us the missing number from the example array. So that is the intuition behind this XOR code. So hope you guys enjoy watching. See you in the next video.